Okay, so I decided I would do a book tag because I haven't done one. I did the newbie book tag, but you know, that's kind of something you have to do when you're a newbie. So I did that, but now I want to do another one. So I am going to do the book buying habits tag. Was created by Megan Oliver, and I did look on BookTube to see if she's still there. I did not find her, but yeah, if you know where her channel is, let me know so I can tag it below. But I thought it would be fun to talk about how I buy books because, you know, everyone wants to know that. Okay. See, I have a problem. I always make my coffee before I start filming, and then I get like all into stuff, and then my coffee gets cold, and it's just not as good cold. This is peppermint coffee with peppermint creamer, and it should be warm, but it's not. But I'm gonna drink it because you can't let a good peppermint coffee go to waste. Okay, so the book buying habits tag. Number 1, where do you buy your books? Okay, so I have a number of places I buy books. Probably my most used websites, because they're not stores, would be Thrift Books and Book Outlet. Now, Thrift Books, I really like buying through them because they're very inexpensive and usually the books are in good shape. They are used books that are generally from libraries. Sometimes they're not, but most of the time they are library bound books, and you can get them from like $365 or $350 or something like that is the lowest you can get, and then it goes on up from there. They don't have anything lower than $3 though. I do like to buy on there though, because especially for homeschool stuff, because it's cheaper than buying new and you get points toward free books. It's like a $5. Oh no, it is free books for them. It is a free book. The book has to be within a certain price range though. I think it's the ones that are like under $7 or something like that. And so you get a free book for every certain amount of dollars you spend, and I have gotten tons of free books through them. And actually they used to charge a pretty high amount for shipping if you just wanted to buy your free book, but this last time I bought just my free book, I only paid like $1 or something for shipping. So I was happy about that, because usually I end up tacking my free books onto an order of other books. That way I get the free shipping after, I think it's $10. You get free shipping after $10. But this time I just wanted to order the one book, and shipping was only like $1.60 or something like that. So I was happy that they changed that, because I have tried to do that before and I wasn't impressed with having to pay like $5 or $6 for a free book, you know. So that's one place I buy my books. Another place is Book Outlet, which if you've been around BookTube for very long, I'm sure you know about Book Outlet, but if you don't, it is a bargain book warehouse that you can order books from. Bargain books are books that publishers have sent out to stores and they did not sell as many copies as they were anticipating, and so they send them back to the publishers. When they do that, they will mark them on the edge here. So all of the bargain books will have like a black mark or a red mark or I've only ever seen black and red. So that mark just shows the publisher that that is a book that has already been out into the world and has come back. And so when they get those books back, they tend to sell them to bargain book places, and Book Outlet is one of those. So when you get a book from Book Outlet, it will have some kind of mark. If it is a bargain book, some of their books, I believe, are not. Every single book I've ever gotten from them is a bargain book, so they all have a little mark, but most of the time that is the only thing wrong with the books. Actually, that's the only thing I've ever had wrong with the books. I like Book Outlet a lot because they have, so first of all, you can get books for like $1.99. So I'm all for that. But every now and then they have a buy two, get one free book sale, which is amazing. I love to take advantage of that, especially when I'm buying activity books for my kids, because it's way cheaper than going to Walmart or someplace like that and buying their full price activity books. I love to buy cheap ones and then get buy two, get one free, because, you know, who doesn't love that? But it's also great. I usually shop there once a month and get some books for myself because I love how cheap they are. And every now and then you can find some pretty good ones. Another place I will buy books is Amazon. If I cannot find what I want on those two sites, I usually buy from Amazon. And that's about it. I do like to browse a bookshop, but I never can end up paying full price. I always feel like, oh, I could order that for cheaper, because even on Amazon, a lot of times they're a little bit cheaper. Not always, but a lot of times they're a little bit cheaper, and you can buy them used on Amazon. Yeah, so I do like to go look at bookstores, but I rarely buy from them unless it is like a nice edition of a book that I've been wanting. Half-priced books, I also shop there, but the one that we have isn't very close to us, so it's not often. Okay, do you ever pre-order books? And if so, do you do this in store or online? I have never pre-ordered a book. Not that I'm opposed to it. It just isn't something that I've done. I was really tempted to order the Lord of the Rings collection that just came out in November. Really wanted to order that one, pre-order that one, but I didn't. I would say that would probably be the only time that I would ever pre-order a book, is if it is a special edition. I love pretty books, and I usually don't buy pretty books unless I've already read them, because I want to make sure that I will like them. And that's one reason why I decided not to buy the Lord of the Rings one, because I have actually never read Lord of the Rings. And so I would like to read maybe like a paperback edition, and then if I love it, I can invest in a nicer edition. Okay, on average, how many books do you buy per month? Well, I would say most months I probably buy 5 to 10 books. But there are months where I will buy more than that. It depends on what my budget has in it at the time, and whether I am feeling like buying a whole bunch of books. A lot of times closer to summer, I end up, I don't know why it's right then. I think it's because I'm buying curriculum and stuff for school, but I will end up buying a ton of books in May or so. And by a ton, I mean like 100, because, you know, why not? But most months, 5 to 10, and then about once a year, I have like a big shopping spree on books, and I buy a ton. Okay, do you use your local library? Considering I just posted a library haul, you probably already know that I use the library. One thing I did mention in that video is that I do use the library, but I very rarely read the books that I get at the library. Typically, I use the library as a jumping off point. I use it a lot for my kids. I will read books to them from there because that's cheaper than buying a bunch of books for them. But for me personally, I don't like having a deadline on my books. Sometimes I can read a book really fast, and other times it takes me a while, and I don't like that deadline. So what I do is I get the books and I look at them, and they're my friends for a little while, and then I take them back to the library and I get some other books that I can look at and have as friends for a little while. So that might be strange, but that's how I do it. I do love the library. I love going to the library and finding books that I might want to read one day. Okay, so it says if you do use your library, how many books can and do you borrow at a time? Okay, so my library will allow me to borrow 50 books at a time. We have 2 library cards, so technically we could borrow 100 books at a time, but I have never actually gotten to 50. It's usually about 25 to 40. That's usually about how many books I have at a time. And like I said, typically it is just to look at them. If they're books I checked out for myself. If it's kids' books, then we read them. So, what is your opinion on library books? Library books, I have a love-hate relationship. For the reason I've already discussed, I really love being able to look at the book and deciding if it's something that I would like to read. The other reasons, I really hate that they put stickers over important things. It bothers me. Like, why not pay attention? Because I can understand if they put the sticker in the same spot on every book, but they don't. Yeah, so it just bugs me when a sticker gets put over something important. So I don't like that, and then I also don't like the deadline. So that's why I typically don't end up reading the books that I have on my library checkout list. I usually will look at them, maybe read a chapter or 2 to see if it's something that I want to read. And if I do end up wanting to read it, then I will buy it later on. Okay, how do you feel about charity shops and secondhand books? Love them. They're my favorite. I go to Goodwill regularly. I love going to little free libraries and thrift stores and any place that has used books. They're my best friend, pretty much because I can usually get them for like $1. And if I can get a book for $1, I'm happy. Do you keep your read and TBR pile together on the same shelf? I do not. I have a little bookshelf, and I will try to put a picture of it in here, but it is a little bookshelf that my grandmother had, and I inherited when she passed away, and I have it on my bedside table, and that is the books that I am reading for the month. There's usually 8 to 10 on there, depending on how many will fit. All of my read books right at the moment end up in my closet because I do not have a very big bookshelf, and I tend to just like to have the books that I haven't read yet on a bookshelf. So soon I'm remodeling my bedroom. As soon as I have the budget to do so, which will be in the next couple of months, and I want a library wall. So I will have books on the shelf, and any books that I've read that I love will end up on that shelf. Right now, they're in my closet. Okay, do you plan to read all the books you own? The answer is yes. I plan on reading every book I own, and the reason why is because I'm very intentional about the books I buy. I don't typically buy just anything. I usually like to know that it's something that I want to read. That being said, the reason why I will read every book I own is if I get a book that I decide I don't want to read, I unhaul it pretty quickly. So most of the books that I have, I think I have a stack right now that I need to take to a little free library or something like that. But I have a stack of about maybe 6 books that I'm not gonna read, and I'm gonna take them to unhaul them. But if I have it, I try to read it. If I don't like it, I get rid of it. Okay, what do you do with books you own that you'll never read or felt you didn't enjoy? Pretty much just answer that question. I get rid of them because I don't have enough space for the books that I want to read. So I really don't have space for books that I didn't enjoy or I am not going to read. Okay, so number 11, have you ever donated books? Yes, I donate books all the time because I have a ton of books. I'm sorry. Have you ever been on a book buying ban? No, I have not, and I will never. Basically because it's pretty much the only thing that I buy for myself that is fun, and I'm not gonna ban that. Now, that being said, I do budget myself. I don't just spend whatever I want on books. I have an amount usually in my budget each month that I set, and that's what I spend. Some months I allow myself to have more than others, but I do not ban myself completely from buying books. So that means if in a month I can only afford to buy 1 book, I'll do that. Or I'll go to a little free library or something like that. But as far as, banning it completely, no, not gonna happen. Okay, number 13, do you feel like you buy too many books? No, you can never buy too many books. Yeah, books are your friends and you need them. You can learn from them, you can escape from things in them. They're just, you just have to have them. And so you can't have too many of them. I'm just saying. So no, I don't buy too many books and I never will. Okay, so that was the book buying habits tag. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed answering questions about books because, it's fun. Yeah, so if you like this video, please like and subscribe. I'm new-ish to BookTube and I'm having a lot of fun. It's been exciting getting to know some people, and I would love to get to know more people. So please comment below with some of your book buying habits, especially the book buying ban. Have you ever been on a book buying ban, or do you never plan on going on one like myself? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time.